Welcome to the Carr and Seguin Show, hosted by Devin Carr and Paul Seguin, where two Michiganders dive into real estate, outdoors, community building, and everything in between. What up, dude?
What's going on, man?
What episode are we even at right now?
I don't know. We're
Johnny.
like Mark Kenyon level now.
Yeah, episode 552.
Right, yeah.
Yep, episode 40.
40! The big 40 over the hill.
Zetterberg number.
It is Zetterberg's number. I like it. Rings were on a tear lately. They lost last night, didn't
I
they?
know.
Did they?
They did lose.
Yeah.
It was 5-2. I don't know.
5-2?
5-2.
We were a 5-game winning streak.
I know.
Come
They've been
on.
fun to watch, and
I know,
it's
actually.
unfortunate.
It's
Their new thing that they got going on with that Hulu Plus. And
Yeah,
I can't even
Plus.
watch half the games, and they're good.
So talking about spending money on apps that we'll get to here in a second, I was like, dude, to back up a little bit, Jess is like, wow, you're really into a lot of sports lately. First it was hunting over the last couple of months. Now it seems like every time I come into the TV, you're always watching sport, which she like hates sports. It's okay. I love her to death.
Yep.
But like I want to go, I'm like, I want to watch the Wings game. Put the kids to bed. I'm like, I knew they were playing tonight. So I like start flipping through the channels. I'm like, whoa, where's Wings?
Right.
It's at home. Like, why is it not on a local channel?
It makes no sense.
And then I go on to ESPN. I'm like, ESPN Plus? What is this?
I know.
So I went on the Roku,
Yep.
pulled up ESPN Plus, and I'm like, I ain't paying for this crap.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, whatever. I guess I'm not watching the Wings tonight.
I know. They struggled all year, but you could watch them all the time you wanted. But now when
When they're hot.
when they're fun to watch,
When they're young and fiery.
you can't even watch half the games. It's terrible.
Ridiculous.
I don't get it.
Stinking apps.
ESPN. Not a fan.
Yeah, I know. I never did like ESPN. But we do have a special guest with us today. We're going to talk a lot about apps and social media. Daniel Kastner, the founder of Ruva. Welcome.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. This is good to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. And you have created a healthy social media. Is that the best way to just describe it right off the bat here?
Yeah, if I could convince you that traditional social media does not have your best interest in mind, and
No.
I think that
I don't believe it.
I think that
You mean Mark Zuckerberg actually cares about me?
yeah, I mean it's a really big topic, isn't it? Because like social media is
It's huge.
it's a big part of everybody's life, I think. But if you've been paying attention to the news, you know, a lot of these companies, they're going in front of Congress. There's a story every other week about mental health, privacy, social media addiction. I really think the cat's out of the bag that there is a big issue here.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, Ruva, we are trying to tackle this problem and trying to tackle it head on. And so to call it a social media redesign in trying to make it healthy for people to use would be pretty accurate. That's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, social media is just, it's addictive. I mean, I know we talked off record beforehand, and it was just like, I catch myself. I mean, your phones now have like I don't know, I'm sure you guys will have like the productivity timing
Yep.
on your phone, right? And sometimes I look at it, I'm like, social media, wow, that's a lot of time wasted. But like we talked off air too, is that, you know, for business sake, I use social media now more for business than really anything. But it's so not easy to just go on and do a business thing, a post or whatever, and then not get sucked in to like scrolling.
Sure. Yeah, there's like 3 different topics right in there. So first we can talk about the business side and what I would also call like content creators, like social media for content creators, like even what you guys are doing with this podcast.
Right.
But the addiction part first. So the first thing to realize is that the way that social media is addictive is not by accident. I mean, this is really designed this way, and companies have spent huge amounts of money trying to figure out how to keep you on the apps longer. The more they can keep you on, the more ad revenue they're getting, and it's
more money.
It's
Right.
more money,
Yeah.
but it's really on purpose. So
Right.
you wonder why when you get on one of these apps, you spend more time than you expected to.
Right.
Right.
And they're engineered to do that. It's not by accident.
Right. The whole algorithm is designed to keep you scrolling.
Right. Well, what we talked about it before the show about the pictures. And after our
Oh,
conversation, I was on Facebook and I was looking and I did notice that I believe it used to be like when you shared something, the content would be below the name and then the picture. But now it's the picture is right below the person's name. So that picture is, like you were saying, is always there. So you always want to see what's
What's that?
what's that?
Yeah. So
What's around that corner?
So a lot of people, since we haven't launched yet, a lot of people are really wondering, like, how exactly are you redesigning social media? So this is a good chance to talk about one way we're doing a more ethical or more humane type of design. So I think that pictures specifically are one of the most let's say enticing parts of being on any website, right? Like we're visual creatures, right? And so I think that when you have these pictures on your app, as soon as you see even just the top part of a picture, it's almost impossible not to want to see the rest of it. Like you almost can't help yourself. So
it's like unwrapping a piece of candy. You see it and you're like, of course you're going to unroll it. You're
exactly. Yeah. Right. So, and I don't think pictures are bad. It's just, how do we deliver these to people in a more ethical way to keep them from being addicted? So one of the things we're doing with Ruva is, if you choose to add a picture to your post, then we're letting people, what will happen is, instead of that picture showing by default, you will get a little icon next to the post, and then you can choose whether you want to actually display that image or not. So it'll kind of bring some mindfulness, like you were bringing up how it used to show the name on top and then the picture, and one of these apps might have flipped it around.
Right.
So this way, actually the only thing you'll see is the person's name. So we're attaching the picture to who you're following. And so, I say, oh, this is Devin, added a picture. Maybe I don't have time to see it right now. Or just about bringing mindfulness and giving people the choice to when they want to see these pictures. And I think that'll create an app that's just a healthier environment and keep you from being on it longer than you want it to be.
Right. Yeah. So you explained to us, so Ruva, how would I join Ruva, or how would I grow? Right. Cause and let's just say it, Facebook, right? You friend request and there you can go search people. And, you can kind of, what's the word? Facebook spy or whatever.
You want to stalk people?
Yeah,
Stalk
Facebook
people,
stalking.
Facebook stalking, right?
Yeah.
For good and bad reasons, right? Obviously there's been a ton of stuff that, sure. I'm sure social media is linked to a lot of crap that we probably don't even want to think about. Like, who knows?
Right.
Tons of crap, right? Sex trafficking, child trafficking, all the groups and just bad stuff. So how are you guys tackling like the security piece of social media?
Security and privacy. So we're taking...
Because that's a big thing with kids. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
To me...
Well, nowadays,
not only security with kids, right? And I'll let you get into it, and I didn't mean to cut you off there, but like on top of it, the there's the control, but also the mental health for kids these days. Like, I'm sure social media is a direct reflect of like suicide increase, right? The whole comparison. When we were growing up, I never knew you had a new pair of shoes until I freaking saw you at school.
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's just plastered all over social media, trips. Like, oh, I haven't been to Florida, but they've gone to Disney 3 times already.
Yeah. Must be nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like
And
the whole
you're a
comparison
parent.
game is like just been accelerated like crazy because of social media.
And you're a parent, so how have those conversations gone, knowing that we do live in a digital age? You know, will your kids have a smartphone, and what age, and how does it feel to be kind of being a parent going into this, knowing what the potential harms are?
Oh shoot! I mean, we're on the verge of having those conversations. Luckily enough, kids are still 6 and under.
Yeah.
So it's a little kind of still in the horizon for us right now. But I mean, just even thinking of it, it's like,
Right.
no, like there's just no need for it. You know, like, I mean, to me, it's like you don't need Facebook.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we talked about this, and I think you mentioned to us before, or somebody you were speaking, like, no, like I don't see a reason for you to need Facebook till you're like 18.
Yeah, some people have said that.
You know, I mean, I see with kids that like give their kids cell phones at like 10. Like, why? Like, for what I even use this for? Why would a kid?
Right.
Like, what do they need this for? I mean, let's get back to the days of freaking playing basketball and hockey in the freaking street and coming in screaming because you scraped your knee on the concrete.
Right.
Yeah, and so think about this: if your social media platform is less addictive, then you're not going to get kind of the situation where
Oh, totally.
so you can still check in on your friends, but because we designed it so that it's not trying to hook you in and manipulate you and keep you on there longer and longer and longer,
Right.
maybe you can check in with your friends, but there's like a very clear endpoint when
Right.
you've checked in with them, and then there's not so many other things to just keep you on the app longer.
Well, yeah.
But you brought up the privacy and the security. So
Right.
this is another thing we're doing very different than any other app. So what's going to happen is on Ruva, you actually can't look anybody up. There's no search function.
No creeping.
Yeah, there's no creeping. We don't have what I like to call a public-facing profile.
Okay.
So there's no way for me to see a profile picture. There's no way for me to see like some bio or
where I
other
live, or where I graduated from.
Yeah, sure, but people do,
Oh, yeah.
people do put that information on there on other sites.
Right.
And I should say that I'm not against networking apps either. I use LinkedIn a lot, and I use other apps for networking, but Ruva is not designed to be a networking app. And so how it's going to work differently is, so there's no public-facing profile. So especially when you're talking about young people, but even as adults, no one will be able to see anything about you unless you're already friends. And to become friends with someone, you will get a private link that then you can share. Maybe you text it to your friend or you email it to someone you want to be connected to. And when they click that link, that will initiate a friend request.
Okay.
And so you get this private link, and then you can refresh that link at any time.
So it's a fresh link.
Yeah, like let's
Can't be duplicated.
It can't be duplicated. And let's say your link, you shared it with some folks, and then 2 months later, you're worried that, I don't know, it's just floating out there on the internet. You can just refresh it. The old one gets thrown away, and you have a new one. The old one doesn't work anymore.
Right, because if you send me a link, and then I could just like, hey, here's Dan's link.
Yeah.
Go get in.
And I want to share some of the thinking behind this. So if we're trying to create more humane tech that enhances our life, I think that it should be a little bit closer to real relationships. So because you can't look me up, it's more likely if I'm friends with you on Ruva that I have like a real world relationship with you. We've chatted a few times. We have each other's phone numbers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, something like that.
There's got to be a connection to get
Right.
Exactly.
requested.
And like I say, I'm not against networking apps. They really have their place, and like they're very useful. But does every app need to be something where you're searchable? And sometimes we can't even tell what parts of our profile are public and what aren't. Like it's
Right.
almost mysterious. So with Ruva, you won't have to worry about that. And that's why all of these design elements that I'm going to talk about, I kind of sum them up in saying, I want an app that you can feel good about using. So it's not designed to keep you online longer. The security model, we think, is a much more ethical design. And then the other stuff I haven't even talked about yet, it's just the idea that when I use Ruva, I feel like this has my best intentions in mind. It's not trying to manipulate me. And, we've really thought through what would be the downstream effects if we made it that you're searchable. And we think, it's not really necessary. If we're just trying to connect you to your close friends and your family, why do you need to be
Connection's
searchable?
already there.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So when you talk about, is this going to be safe for young people or as a parent whenever you decide to give your kids a device, I wonder if Ruva will be the only app that you feel safe using, because our security model means you should never have a spam friend request, a bot. You should never get a friend request from a stranger.
Oh, gosh. I mean, if I go to my friend request tab,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, who are you?
Right.
It always seems like every realtor tries to friend request other realtors. Like, I've never understand
Sure.
that. Like, I don't want to see all your posts. Like,
Yeah.
I want to actually to be friends with people that may call me. You're never going to call me to sell or buy a house.
Right.
You're a realtor. I understand that. Literally, my friend request is flooded with other realtors. And I'm like, I don't even know you.
Yeah. So let's talk about small businesses and Ruva real quick. So I don't see any particular reason why you couldn't have like a business account on Ruva. Just maybe some of your close friends would want to follow you on there, but I'm just telling you that it's not designed for that.
Yeah.
And what I think will happen is that, and I guess I can tell a story here. I actually have a friend that became a real estate agent in like the past year and a half. And her posts on Facebook in particular, they used to be just very personal. It was what you would expect from an app that's trying to connect your personal life. But when she became a real estate agent, all of a sudden,
business.
became all business. And I honestly, I'm not against that. I wish her the best. I want her to be successful. I mean, is there a better way to try to spread your business, whatever it is? I mean, it's awesome.
Right.
But the question is, where is the place just for your personal life? And
Right.
that's where Ruva is going to come in and really fill that niche. So, folks who are content creators, if you're a musician, if you are an artist, you can have Ruva for your private life, and you can really kind of fully engage with these other social media. And people know, like, once they kind of go public with their social media, you can't really go back
Right.
once you do that, right?
So so as you bring that up, how do you guys plan on handling, are stuff just going to stay up, or does it go away, or?
So right now, what we're doing, and again, this is all linked to like our values are grounded in ethical design. And part of what that means is trying to really think through what are the downstream effects. So we have seen some articles come out where especially young people will talk about this social media anxiety related to, maybe they grew up using it, they got their first smartphone at 16, whatever it is, and they've been posting, and now they have all this history. And I do think that Snapchat has sort of stepped in, and and things like Instagram stories are kind of solving this as well. So with Ruva, when you make a post, you can determine the expiration. So you can say, I want my post to be up for 3 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours, all the way up to a week, and then it will disappear. And the other thing we're doing is that you can only make one post at a time. And this is also kind of going back to making your experience on your social media closer to real life. So if you make a post on Ruva, then you want to make a second post, it will just overwrite the old one. And so the idea behind this is that it may be part of what's unhealthy to allow people to post like 10 things in one day. I mean, I know people, they'll post like 2 cat memes, 3 news stories, a funny video and a music video, like all in one day, like within an 8-hour time period.
Right.
And maybe something important. And so by kind of adding some friction in the design, the friction is what means like sort of slowing you down. I think it will cause people to slow down and think like, what's the most important thing I need to communicate right now, rather than posting 10 things. And I think it's part of what makes social media, traditional social media, less important in our lives, because the fact that people are posting so many things means when there is something important, it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Right.
Oh, yeah.
To think that you had all that time to find those memes and jeez, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this kind of also links back to something that they call the attention economy. So what is going on in traditional social media? The fact that their whole model is ad revenue means that they have to keep you on the app as long as they can.
Right.
And so what the algorithms have figured out is that the things that engage people the most, we don't have to go into this a lot, but they're finding out the things that engage people the most are things that cause high emotional states. Now, they could be good states, but the better hooks are anger and outrage. And those are the things that get upregulated in the algorithm, okay? So let's say you're on some network and you've got even 200 friends, and one of them includes your grandma. And your grandma wants to post like, who's coming over for pumpkin pie later, okay? What are the chances that you're even going to see that when the things that are getting upregulated are the highly emotional news stories? That's what the app algorithm wants you to see first. Right. So maybe this is like the other big thing that why I would say we're trying to completely redesign what social media looks like is we're giving people complete control over who they see on their homepage. It's not a news feed. So imagine if you could actually tell the app, I always want to see grandma first. No matter what else is happening, grandma's always at the top. And you have control over who you're following in your life. So grandma's, pumpkin pie post will never get buried under all other things that get more likes or something like that. So when I say we're redesigning and we're trying to do something completely different, your experience on Ruva will be such a better connection to your friends and family because we're giving you the control back.
Right. Isn't it, I don't know if it's true, but I mean, it seems like when you have, say, Facebook, for instance, you have, say, 20 friends, and one of your good friends, say, didn't post in a while, and then they started posting more, but they're always thrown in, and you always miss them. And then eventually it seems like you don't see what they're saying anymore. It just disappears. And then you look back at your friends and go, yeah, he's still there. I mean,
yeah. Have you ever gone and clicked on a profile, like maybe an old friend, and you see what they posted, and all of a sudden you will realize, I don't even see their updates.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed it. But I mean, it's
strange.
It's all strange.
Just disappears.
It really is. I mean, even the advertisements. Like, I don't know how it's like, I mean, honest to God, I'm sure everyone could probably relate to this, where it's like, I mean, you could be talking about buying a new toilet cover seat, and then all of a sudden I go on Facebook and look, there's an advertisement for toilet seats at Home Depot. Like,
right.
Dude, frick, you listening to me or something? Like, just because I had the app up? Like, I mean, it's no joke. I hear people say this all the time. Like, I was talking about this, so all of a sudden there was an advertisement for a car.
Right.
Like, the exact car I was talking about. It's like
spooky.
It is. And I think it just goes back to that algorithm. Like, they're going to shove in front of you the stuff they know that you want to see, that's going to keep you on. And it's like super addictive. And they make it that way. It's built that way. And like you said at the very beginning, I mean, obviously we're seeing it in Congress. Like, there's clearly something going on here that you're doing with our data.
Yeah, honestly.
To be able to do this. Like, you can't just do what you're doing and not be taking something from what we're doing and using it to your advantage.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know. Like, I really don't know about all the things where people think their phone is listening to their conversations and they're getting ads on that stuff. Like, I have no idea how that would work, or it could be true. I just don't know. I do know, any other website that you're going on, like, it is tracking all of that information.
The cookies, I get that, whatever you're clicking on and crap. But I mean, for me, never to click on anything. Like, I didn't look up any toilet seats on my phone, right? And there they are in the middle. There's a banner in my scroll, toilet seats, freaking Home Depot. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, they're listening somehow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't think that's, I think that goes against all my freaking privacy rights.
Yeah.
I didn't say they're listening to my conversations, but you are somehow.
When you've got a supercomputer, sitting on your desk that has probably the most monetary investment in R&D pointed exactly on how to get you these ads and how to deliver you these ads. I mean, it's not far-fetched to think they're doing anything they can to figure that stuff out. There was something where I believe there was a story. There was some story where someone like didn't know they were pregnant, but then because of some other behavior like they had, that they started getting ads for
pregnancy.
For having a baby.
What?
And like Facebook knew they were pregnant before they did.
What?
There's something going on like that.
Oh.
Or they, I've also heard that if a friend, they think they can tell if a friend is about to get engaged, and they can start to send you like engagement gifts. Ads for engagement gifts, and like literally 12 hours later you'll find out that your friend was engaged because they're watching so closely people's behavior.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Is that a service? I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's not okay.
Stealing candy from a freaking kid is what it is.
So I want to explain part of the philosophy behind Ruva and how. So we're moving away from ads, right? We're not going to have any ads. And so we need to generate revenue a different way.
Right.
But another way to think about how ads, and I'd also put in like influencers fit into this, is, so I imagine an app that does a really good job of connecting you with your close friends and family. Okay, so that's Ruva's goal.
Yep.
We're not trying to connect the world. We're trying to make a better connection between the people you already know.
Yeah, connect the healthy relationships that already exist in your life.
Yeah, so imagine that Ruva is like, when you're using Ruva, it's almost like hanging out with a group of your friends, like in your living room, okay? And now on some other sites, the ads and the influencers would be like if you guys are just hanging out in your living room, and then all of a sudden, like, some company spokesperson like bursts in the door and like dances around the room a little bit and was like, hey, I'm here promoting this. And then like, okay, see you later. Like, you'd all look around and be like, who invited that person? Yeah. Like, so why in the world would you want an environment trying to connect you with your close friends to allow in these influencers and these strangers? Like, that's kind of insane, right? Mm-hmm. So, Ruva with no ads will be just for you and your friends.
So what are some of the ways that you guys plan on doing some of that revenue producing?
So what we
obviously, because I'm sure it ain't gonna be cheap to keep the app running and to obviously always be improving and to pay for security measures and all that stuff. I mean, there's gonna obviously. I mean, I don't know what it costs, but I'm sure as you guys get pretty big and following, I'm sure that's only going to increase your expenses to keep it rolling. And
yeah, so what we want to do is we want to make it fun. We want to let people have ways to customize things like their profile. I've talked about these stickers that you can place on your posts, and the whole app is going to be free for everybody, all the functionality. But we thought, an ethical way to do this is to let people kind of show off their style a little bit more. And you can do things like purchase these stickers, purchase these wallpapers. And honestly, I think people already do this kind of thing. Like, why do you buy one brand of shoes instead of another? Why do you wear this graphic t-shirt instead of something else? Mm-hmm. People love to show off their style.
Oh, yeah.
And so instead of letting ads and listening to your data and all of that stuff, we're just going to let people show off their style in order to help create this
personality.
Yeah, create this healthier social media site. And I think that's what we're going to try.
So anything, and maybe even will we be able to create our own stickers for 50 cents? Design your own sticker.
I would love and everybody knows, we're really just bootstrapping this. At first, we're just going to be like kind of even testing this stuff out. But I would love, ideally, to have some kind of marketplace like that where, maybe you're an artist and you can even make your own stickers that other people can buy. Maybe you can follow like your favorite sticker artist.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's a good idea.
It won't be right at the beginning because we're just really doing like early testing still.
So maybe I could draw my face and try to sell my sticker.
Ooh, there you go.
You want the Paul Seguin sticker on your profile.
Yeah, or like something to show off your show or something.
Yeah.
He was just taking a picture of his face. That's it. Just Paul.
I can see that.
There you go. With the goatee. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, my COVID goatee.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Be crazy not to have that.
Yes.
I feel that.
I'll make sure Dan kicks you off, Ruva, for not having my sticker.
Oh, my goodness.
Just kidding.
That could be the default one.
Yeah. You create a profile on Ruva, you get a picture of me.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you're laughing
free.
because at the end of the day, whatever we do to like help fund this, I think should be fun. It should enhance your experience, and I think that if we do it right, then that will be people's experience. And there's like this cliche going around that like if you're not paying anything, then you are the product.
Right.
Which I find like sometimes hard to wrap your head around, but that's what they say. If all these other sites are totally free, then you must be the product. And so with Ruva, we want to make that really clear that, by purchasing these customizations, you're helping make this happen.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a cool idea. I mean, obviously, who doesn't want to personalize their profile?
Right.
I think, honestly, there could be some pretty cool ideas to run with them, like...
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I got some ideas, but which is a good way. I know you got also, like, potential. I was looking at your stuff, like special widgets or... maybe a subscription that you can get unlimited stickers.
Yeah,
stuff
sure.
like
So,
that.
what if you love it so much and you're like, well, now I can't even choose what sticker I want. I mean, so I guess in business, there's something called, we want multiple ways to help this happen. So it's very, very likely we'll just have some kind of subscription, like an all access.
Yeah.
So instead of, maybe you're the type of person that never buys a sticker, or you're like, I can buy one a year or something. But some folks are going to say, I want them all. So we'll just say like $12 a year, unlimited stickers.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And
you
honestly,
can always change them, right? You always, new trends, new shoes, right? I got orange shoes now. I want an orange shoe sticker.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Tiger Woods. I like Phil Mickelson. I want a Phil Mickelson sticker. Take Tiger down.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they're always going to be changing.
Right.
And shoot, yeah, it could be worth it.
Yeah.
Just give me a subscription, like an unlimited.
Right. Well, I mean, that's a great idea because look at, we were talking about Onyx before.
Yeah.
I mean, they have their Elite package and
Right.
they have their Elite Pro, and I think there's a Basic in there as well.
Right.
I'm a sucker for anything that has more check marks. So it's like, I gotta get that one.
Yeah.
So you guys are hunters?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
yeah.
Onyx is a hunting thing, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hunting app for.
And it just, property in general. You click on anybody's and you find out who actually owns the property. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to reach out or say
Yeah.
something went on their property line and you don't have their phone number, you can try to find it.
Yeah.
lot
I mean,
easier.
for you, I'd make a sticker that was just like an orange hat.
Yeah, there you
Right?
go.
And show
gear.
off. Yeah,
Right,
it's
yeah.
like
guns. Yeah.
bow hunting or
Oh.
Bows. Yeah.
Whatever.
Arrows.
Yep.
Yeah. Boots.
But, I think the subscription idea is just, it's a great idea for what people are doing
Oh,
now.
yeah. Yeah, it's just to me, I don't really think. You say $12, great, wonderful. Click unlimited, great.
Yeah. And honestly, you guys are saying this. I haven't gotten a lot of feedback on this. So
We're giving
if
you the feedback.
If you are listening right now and you think you would maybe get a subscription to something like I've described, reach out and let me know, because we have no idea right now if this will really fund the app. But if you like it, just parrot what's going on across the table here.
Yeah. No, honestly, I just don't see. I don't know. I think maybe because we buy too many of them already, right? It's just
Right.
And I think obviously I'm probably speaking about the masses. You're going to be a part of a platform, whether it's social media or just a hunting app. The value's there, and people are going to spend money. I don't see it being an issue, and that's my opinion.
Right.
Sure.
We were talking about before too, in terms of the addiction, there is now about people posting saying, "I need to take a break. Or, I'm taking a month off."
Yeah.
It's just crazy to think that you have to take a month off or something.
Yeah, then this goes back to, I want an app that does not make people get in that position where they feel like, I know this is so bad for me that
I gotta take a break.
every once in a while I
Right.
see I'm taking a social media break, hashtag social media break, right? For a week off or a month off or just the next couple days. Cause not only are people becoming aware that this stuff is bad for them, just from the news, etc., but some people really feel it, and they're trying to figure out, why am I so depressed?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not moving forward in life? Why am I not engaging, with my neighbors or people in real life so
person.
much?
Right.
Yeah, and they are, and I don't see any good alternatives, and that's what Ruva's trying to be for
That's
you.
where Ruva comes in.
I think that, we had another little mantra early on, which we didn't make this up. It came from some book, but I don't know the reference, but the mantra is get online in order to get offline. And so that has also been kind of a driving philosophy. What if Ruva can act like a sidekick to your life? Because I really think we've developed something that will get you the information you want so quickly, because we've removed all the junk. We removed the ads. We've removed, all the influencer following type of culture.
Addicted
So it's
stuff.
just for your friends. So imagine if you opened your social media and it got you like the updates from your friends so quickly that you literally only had to have it open for 8 seconds, and you're like, okay, I see so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so, and then you know who you're about to call because, they say, hey, we're going to the movies on Saturday. Hit me up if you want to come. That's not getting buried
Right.
inside of ads and memes and all this other stuff. And you get the information so quickly. if I wanted to know what was going on with a lot of my friends, say on some other site, I might have to scroll for 3 minutes just
Right.
read between the lines to figure out what everybody's doing. If we remove all of that, you will actually need to be on the app for less time because it's going to get you the information you need. It should be like a sidekick to enhance your life.
Mm-hmm.
Will they be able to do videos on it?
Not, I think so. The early beta, if you're coming on for like the testing or the early beta, we will not have videos right now. Probably will have videos.
Okay. So just more posting images at the beta spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're climbing a mountain, and you climb, one little bit at a time.
Right. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Heck yeah. So where are you guys at in the development stages of release?
We just got a second developer who's helping. If you have been following the project, you know that we've had some delays.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is because I'm not a software developer. So I'm seeing what's going on and I'm thinking we can launch in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks. And then my developers come back to me and they're like, not at all. And that's just
no.
I'm good, but not that good.
yeah, I'm not a programmer. So and everybody's working part-time. So folks are working outside of their regular job at this point. We do want to find a full-time developer at some point. If that person is listening, go to the website. If anybody, emails us, I'm getting that email and I'm responding to people. So we will be looking for somebody full-time, but the people helping on this project are part-time. It's honestly going slower than I wanted it to.
Yeah.
So what is our timeline now? So some folks got an invitation to get on like a testing group. This is our second testing group. We need feedback from these people to let us know like what needs to be changed in their opinion before we open it up to a larger group. And we're going to onboard people through invites, like 10, 20 people at a time to make sure our system can handle like the growth that we're expecting.
Yeah.
If you haven't got on the wait list yet, put your email in. Go to the website, put your email in, and you'll get on the wait list and you'll get an invite. And everybody's going to know when we're out. I think, maybe I can say we're like 80% done. But my developers might yell at me. Doing our best over here.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously big projects and stuff like that always takes longer than you expect, right? Especially when it's
so new.
Well, yeah, and you're a new baby, and shoot, I'm a very impatient person.
Not you.
Yeah. So I know where you're feeling, right? It's like, come on, let's go.
Right.
We can do this, right? Come on, it's just slapping some code together. Let's roll. Yeah.
That's kind of how
just
it
the
is.
sound of saying slapping some code together, sounds
and
intuitive.
The thing is, like, I really think we've developed something that will help people's lives. And it's just, to me, what's going on is it's not a game. Like, this is really harming people. There is a site, I think it's called socialtruth.humanetech.com. Maybe that can go in the show notes. And it is a place where people can report, either they leave their name or anonymously, their personal story with how social media has negatively affected their life. And they look back and the harms are very real. And maybe that also contributes to, I'm just like, soon, a couple more weeks, because I really want the solution to be available for people.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Social media has affected our world 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe it's done more harm than even good. 100%. I think if you really stayed back and look at what social media has done over the last, 10 years, it's really only maybe a little bit more than that, 15 years.
Yeah.
I mean, when did Facebook really become big? Like early 2000s, right? Ish, something like that. I mean, I was senior year 2005. I mean, it seemed like that's when really Facebook became something.
Everybody was on it then.
Yeah, right around then. But I mean, it has changed our world. It's changed how, I mean, to me, it seems like there's more negative effects than even positive effects. Sure, it can bring you in line and connection and communication with people than you never would have before, right? Being able to follow friends that have moved to out of state and, you know, before social media, how do you even stay in touch with them, right? I mean, it was just a phone call. But I think the bad is, I mean, it's now become this comparison game, right? I mean, you post for good things and good for reasons, but then people fall into this pit of like, well, I'm not there yet, or I don't have that, or we don't go on that trip every year, but the James family does, and you know, I mean, it's just not just kids, it's everybody. I mean, everybody's in that boat where it's just like become this huge comparison.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
and
you get one person that's having an unfortunate bad day. I mean, they can spread that badness all over.
oh dear, that's
I mean, you
the thing
see
too,
a lot
the
of
negative
groups.
comments.
Yeah, a lot of groups now, you always see them. The administrator always posts, "If you got nothing nice to say, I mean, it'll be taken down." It's like, why do you even put it
Yeah, I
out?
mean, you brought up a good thing though. It's just like the comments and the tearing down or the division. I mean, obviously you get the whole, like this last political race was just freaking insane on social media. Like just, you know, if you voted for that person, I defriend you. It's like, who freaking cares who they voted for?
Yeah,
Right? I mean, is it really going to change our lives? I mean, my opinion, no. Of who's in office, it ain't going to freaking change my life. That's my choice if I allow it to. And that's just the dang right truth. Like, that's your choice to let that control you. But it's just social media just has ramped that up times a zillion.
Yeah, you know, you could have maybe tried to make the prediction that it would help people understand different sides of issues. But because it's not conducive to good conversations, I think it just causes people to get defensive and dig in their heels more.
So much more strife and arguments and the pointing of fingers and, you know, I think it's, I think at the very beginning, like, oh, this is going to bring a lot of people together. This is cool. But it's just like separated people. Now it's like, I mean.
Well, we couldn't have predicted, maybe we could have, but I don't think we could have predicted that well what it would be like to interact with strangers on what was supposed to be your personal place for your friends and family.
Right.
So, because you brought up like what something like Facebook was at the beginning, and it was more of that personal place. But one of the things that happened, I think it was in 2012, all of a sudden you could see posts from people that you didn't know. So if you go on a news article, how many times, well, I've done this, you know, you click on the comments. And literally, now you're talking to complete strangers. Now, whether or not you even know they're a troll or not is almost a separate issue, but it's these short little snippets of rage type of comments.
Oh, it goes on and on. I mean, you could see from one comment, you could see like 50 replies.
Yeah.
Because everyone starts chiming in.
So I was on another podcast where we brought this up and people trying to seek like understanding, nuanced conversations, and how Ruva fits into this. Like that, I think there's other people that are trying to solve the division problem on a whole. But because Ruva is not a networking app, it's just people that are close friends and family, right? So what's going to happen with Ruva on this topic is, so we have no comment system. And so I think people are definitely allowed to post their opinions. But let's say me and my uncle, well, we have very different opinions, and he feels the need to post his opinion on Ruva. Because you cannot comment on Ruva, if I feel the need that I really need to say something, so this is where friction comes in again.
Right.
They made it so easy to just comment that we barely can control our impulses. In this case, if I really need to tell my uncle what I think about what his opinion is, I have to take some extra steps. I have to at least open my text messaging app, or maybe, I take the step to call him. And I think that's a healthier way to get these conversations going, rather than just leaving a little place to comment, and then it's weird.
So out of context.
A bunch of other people see it that weren't even in the conversation.
Right, and they just throwing more wood on the fire.
Oh yeah.
I think, if you have that, a lot of people wouldn't dare say anything if it wasn't so easy.
Oh yeah.
They'll sit there, like you're saying, the friction. They'll sit there and they'll fester, and then eventually they'll even forget about it.
All right.
And then, nothing was done. He got what your uncle wanted to say is out there, and then you just move on.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and fester, and then you type a little jab in there, and then he throws another little jab, and then when you go to Christmas in a week, it's not all awkward.
Yeah, these conversations, they get left unfinished, and it's weird because they're sort of happening in public, but you don't really know who's even seeing it. It's so different from our normal interactions when we're at a table together or something like that. No wonder we don't even have the tools to know how to have these conversations.
Right. No, it is. Like you said, Devin, it's so easy just to type a comment, and everybody does it. We've just gotten so easy to, like, screw you, dude. Like, I'm just going to blah, 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 and then click, and then go away. It doesn't even bother you, but it's the fact of, like, now the turmoil it creates, though. Like, I could place a comment, walk away, never look back, but if I go back and, like, oh wow, there's a whole conversation started from that one comment. I had no idea. Right. And it's just like, but again, to what you were saying too, Dan, is like, I would have probably never say that in person. Mm-hmm. Right. Because it's so easy on social media. I'll just type it all day. I could care less what the after effects or who else it pissed off or who else it made,
Maybe you want to piss people off.
I think there are a lot of people in this world.
Yep.
that just like to create issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the bad side of it too, is because there are just so many people that just troll on topics and certain groups or channels or whatever the page is, and just create problems.
Right.
Because it's easy and they can do it from the comfort of their couch. And probably laugh like, I just screwed with those people for no reason. And then it just creates all the freaking term. I don't know. It's just, shut it all down now. And leave it just to Ruva.
Right.
There's definitely a place for online forums and discourse, and people do learn things. There's something I heard about. There's a I think it's on Reddit. There's a place on Reddit called Change My Mind, where you can actually say, look, I'm here. I strongly feel, a certain way about this position, but I'm here. I'm giving you an opportunity to try to change my mind.
Right.
You may not be successful, but what a better way to approach. If you talk to someone who doesn't want their mind changed, that's just going to end up bad.
That's never good. Yeah. I got a few family members like that. You can talk to them all night. It's like, wow, that was a waste of my time.
Yeah,
that went nowhere.
Yeah, there might be places for that. Somebody was describing, I go to these webinars with the Center for Humane Technology, and there's a lot of cool people there. And somebody was describing, they see a future where there's just a larger landscape of apps which have much more specific purposes. Some of these apps, either they don't know what they're trying to, some of the apps we have today, they don't know what they're trying to be anymore, or they're trying to be everything, and that's hard to do. So they said, probably we're going to have a landscape of apps, and everybody's going to know this is the one you go to go argue about stuff with.
Right.
I don't know, but it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
I don't know how to segue to this, but I want to
mention away.
I want to mention something else because my biggest motivation is the mental health and addiction part of social media,
right?
Which is probably the core part of
Ruva.
why Ruva needed to be made. And so there's another really interesting thing that's going on that I think Ruva will solve. So we know that because the news feeds or the content feeds on other apps, they're run by these algorithms. So it's basically random what you see. But we have this idea that if you don't post something, if I don't post something regularly, at least once a day or maybe twice a day, then what happens to my visibility to the people I'm connected to? If I don't post something on any one of these, stories, or I post a tweet or something, I'm basically invisible if I'm not keeping up with it. You disappear, exactly. And, I can't even begin to imagine what this is doing, especially to young people. Like, thank God I'm not in high school right now, because it could be really bad knowing that if you are not posting regularly, you're essentially invisible on these apps. So how Ruva is directly addressing this problem is that when you are controlling or setting up your homepage on Ruva, you get to decide who shows up on your homepage. And, when you get to try the app, you'll see how it works. But what's going to happen is let's say I put you at the top, if you haven't posted anything in 8 hours, 24 hours, 24 days, you still remain in my feed where I put you, because guess what? Ruva is about relationships, and you are not invisible just because you haven't posted on social media. And I am really excited to see how that ends up changing how people relate to each other, because I log in and I see your name. So what if you haven't posted anything? It might prompt me to say, you know what, I haven't talked to you in a while, and I'll call you, or I'll hit the SMS button and start a conversation because you're not invisible to me.
Right. Which I think is, I think what my take on what you guys are doing and how you're developing is really getting back to the core, I think, of what social media was originally created for, right? Just the deep, rich connections with the people that are most important in my life. Mm-hmm. I think as it has grown, social media, like, it's just become way more than that, and then it became way more than that, and now it's this, and then it's algorithms, and it's ads, and it's business, and it's big money, and it's crazy, and it's the whole connection piece of it is just gone. I mean, honestly, I'm not like going to Facebook to like, oh, I'm gonna check in on my friends. Like, I'll just shoot a text like, what's up, dude? Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, it's like, I think that is all lost.
Yeah,
I think Ruva's trying to bring it back, right, in a healthy way. There's no ads, there's no algorithms. It's not a machine just sitting back and saying, oh, how am I going to addict this person to my
these
system?
other apps, I really look at so many of them as basically entertainment apps at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's no different than the friggin' news channel now. I mean, it's like...
Yeah. So I go on there to be entertained. I've
had to back off who I follow, because it's just like, this stuff is just stupid now. Like, it is. Mm-hmm. Some of the crap, it's like, I don't know. I'm just a very positive person, so when all I see is negative crap, I'm just like, I'm freaking done with this.
Right.
Like, it's just like, who cares? Can we not talk about anything good anymore?
Right.
Everything is all about negative. Like, negative just sells. I'm sorry. It doesn't sell me. It freaking just turns me off. Like, I want to just have fun. I mean, that's what life's all about. We're all here to have fun anyway, so why are we all so worried about freaking negative, dumb idiots who make this world crap? Yeah. I'm sorry, this is my rant.
Well, check this out. So I actually...
Just, come on.
I don't know why.
Live in freaking joy, people.
I get a lot of Red Bull ads, and they're actually super fun. if I'm scrolling, I am very likely to watch that whole ad. Red Bull, if you're listening, like, I
You
guess
do it
good
right.
job.
Right, yeah.
But how in the world are my friends' posts even supposed to compete with that?
Right, yeah.
Like,
Right.
they're not supposed to, but it's just strange. How could, it's the same thing, like I said before, you're hanging out with your friends in your living room, and then all of a sudden a celebrity walks in. Like, what did that just
an
do?
Right, yeah.
advertisement of whatever
Yeah.
sort. Right. Yeah. I don't know.
And yeah, so
I love it. I love it for business, but
Yeah, right.
getting away from the ad model is going to be super important.
Yeah.
There's people, especially, I mean, I've learned a lot of stuff from the Center for Humane Technology, and there's a lot of folks there that they think the core of this problem is the ad model. If you have ads, eventually, over time,
it's just
there's
gonna
no
saturate the
way.
system.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
way away from it.
Right.
So we're sticking to no ads very strongly, but you got to buy a sticker. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Which I mean, I think it's just more personal though.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's how Facebook makes all the money is advertising. So it's just again sales, and it's sales, and it's sales. It's just advertising, and they listen to us somehow. I mean, Congress actually do your job and do something about that for once. But yeah, I don't know. I that's why I think I was just excited to hear about when we first chatted, and I think Pat was actually the one that first kind of told me about it.
Yeah.
I think it's just exciting to see what you've done, what you're doing, and obviously we're excited to see it roll out, soon enough, and for all the right reasons. You don't want to roll out something that's crap.
Yeah.
Right? You want to test it, you want to beta test it, you want to have people's opinions and feedback, and I mean that's the way to do it. And I'm impatient like you. I'd want to shove it out to the world now, but sometimes it doesn't work for the best that way. So, but no, we're excited about it. Obviously, it was awesome to have you on the show, and I think you're onto something huge here, and something that I think we need whole for social media. Another option, a better option. And I think getting back to what social media was originally created for,
right?
To connect with the people that mean the most to us anyways. And just that, just them. I don't need to be bombarded by ads and other people that I don't even know. And even that too. Like sometimes you just get random comments on your crap. I'm like, who are you? Yeah. Like, okay, great, thanks. Like, no.
Should I be glad I'm not
Delete.
a podcaster?
No, I mean we don't. I mean I think we have fun.
Yeah,
we're positive.
I like to
so
think
it breeds positivity, right? I mean, hey. Yeah. I think that's the people you surround yourself with is a mirror image of who you are.
Right.
Right. So if you're around a bunch of negative people, you're probably going to be negative.
Right. Yeah.
I don't do that. I like happy people that like golf and hunt and have a good time. Right. And yeah. So no, just want to say congratulations to you now. Cause I think
absolutely.
I know you've had a tough conversation today. Screw that. Throw it aside and keep doing what you're doing, man. Cause it's, I think you're onto something good, and it's. I think we need it. So keep fighting and working hard, and can't wait to. I know you put me on one of your testers, right?
I think you're gonna. Yeah, as long as you know.
I signed up.
If you're a tester, when we give you the test version, realize like that it's a test because not everything will be there. But we need your feedback. There's a reason why you said I'll test it.
Right,
because you're basically saying
I'm excited,
we know
man.
you're not done yet.
Right.
I love it when Titleist sends a little test sleeve of golf balls.
Is it half a golf ball?
No,
yeah.
Right. No, it's a whole sleeve of golf balls, and it's they send them out usually whenever they're about to roll out a new ball, and so it's.
They trust you with that?
You can sign up. You can sign up for it and just put on.
Well, if they did that, it wouldn't last the first hole. I'd lose them all right away.
I mean, you could see like, well, hey, it didn't curve as much.
Yeah. They all slice. Yeah.
I'm usually 40 yards into the woods.
Yeah.
This one's only 30, so you're onto something, Tyler.
Right, yeah.
And I did nothing to my swing,
Right.
so it's the ball. But no, I will make sure. Go home tonight and make sure I'm on your tester list.
Right.
I want to be
Will do.
Yeah, me and Jess will test it out. We'll give you feedback.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Devin says yes.
I'm in.
There you go.
I'm in.
We're here to help you, man.
I appreciate
And that's
Absolutely.
why
I appreciate the
we
support.
appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah.
So what's the website they can go check you out on?
So it's ruva.app, www.ruva.app, RUVA. And that'll just take you to our homepage.
Okay.
So some people say, what do you .app? It's just ruva.app. That'll take you to our homepage. You can find out more about Ruva. You can see our links to our other socials. I have a YouTube channel where I talk about more of this stuff, more details if you want to know more. And put your email address in, and you'll get on the wait list.
Subscribe.
And we will be rolling out invites over the next couple months.
Hey, you got to do the testing. So, and you're on, obviously, like you said, Facebook, unfortunately.
Well, it goes all the way back to what I said. I don't think these networking apps are bad.
Right.
There's a great way to share your business, and we actually have a lot of people following us on Facebook. I think Ruva is so different. It will fill a niche in your life that no other app is even getting close to filling. So you might keep Facebook to follow the businesses you like.
Right.
It's so different. We're not taking an existing site and just tweaking one thing.
Right.
And you're going to understand when you try it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's creating a place where I can go to not be bombarded by all the other crap.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that's,
future things, we want to have all the stuff like things like parental controls, for example. That's not going to be in our budget at the beginning, but stuff like that. We want to have videos at the beginning, but we should allow people to upload 30-second videos to share with their friends. All that kind of stuff won't be there. We don't have the budget or anything, but we need to see, if people
can come
like
faster
this kind
than
of
you
thing.
think.
We'll
Always
see.
think about the glass half full.
Okay.
Not empty.
That's right. Heck no.
Okay.
No way. No, so I mean it's great. I'm looking forward to testing it, and so I mean we appreciate we are testing. Yes. Well,
There's two of us.
yes, there is 100%. I'm
Well,
See,
So
I've already
it's
disappeared.
social.
I've already disappeared.
You won't be disappeared on Ruva, and it is social. So, Paul, you could have it by yourself, but it might be a lonely place. You need to find
Right. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'll be sending my link out.
All right.
Well, thanks again, Dan. Appreciate you coming on the show, and we'll can't wait to test, and we'll be following you as you grow, because I know it's going to be I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to grow.
It's been awesome. It's been awesome to be here. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Dan.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Dan, the founder of Ruva app, and So I'm Paul Seguin with EXP,
I'm Devin Carr with Gold Star Mortgage.
and this is the Carr and Seguin Show.
See you.
See you.
The primary purpose of this podcast series is to inform, entertain, and educate. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast series do not constitute legal or professional advice, opinions, or endorsements of any kind. Gold Star Mortgage Financial Group, NMLS 3446, Equal Housing Lender.